Madison Police Department is looking for new ways to get each other to talk about depression and feelings of suicide just days after one of their own died by suicide. Amanda Quintana is in the news center with how they're remembering Sergeant Jessica Fischer. Amanda?
Yes, well, Jessica Fischer spent her entire law enforcement career in the town of Madison. Now the chief who hired her and the entire department are looking for ways to honor her by making sure they hold each other up.
I'll be honest, I go out there and put my hands out of the car and pray a couple times that day. It's just going to be very missed.
This patrol car, the only one Sergeant Jessica Fischer would drive. Everyone at the town of Madison Police Department knows this is her car, now slowly being covered with flowers to remember her.
When she came in, she was always happy, always smiling, and a joy to work with.
On Friday, the 43-year-old wife and mother took her own life after calling the dispatch center she'd been working with for 13 years.
It was a total shock to everybody. None of us knew the depression that she was obviously going through, and it was she hid it from us very well.
Law enforcement suicide isn't often talked about, but Chief Scott Gregory knows now it's more important than ever to get his officers a form of release.
More officers die by suicide than die from line of duty deaths, and that trend has happened and continued, even though on-duty deaths have declined.
The suicide rate is higher in law enforcement than the general population, some saying by as much as 50%.
It's a lot of bad things that we're seeing and quite honestly not really dealing with.
Many departments in the state, including the town of Madison, have chaplain programs, someone to talk to confidentially. There's also national resources, but for many of those behind the badge, reaching out is not easy.
Police are inherently the helpers, and sometimes the helpers aren't really good at taking care of themselves.
Something Chief Gregory says he hasn't really had to think about until now.
So the resources are out there. We just have to be able to get law enforcement to be willing to reach out and ask for help.
The chief is looking at developing some kind of program where spouses of officers can let someone at the department know to check on them if they aren't doing well. He's also stressing the other resources available. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, that number is at the bottom of your screen. It's 800-273-8255. And locally, Journey Mental Health has a 24-hour crisis hotline as well. That is 608-280-2600.
Important numbers to remember for those officers. Amanda Quintana. Amanda, thank you.